Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll create another filter. So this is one of the most easiest or one of the most simplest filter to create, yet one of the most beautiful filter and one of the most common filter for Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so yeah, so let's first open up Spark Studio. Okay, so this is called color gradient filter. Okay, so the filter that is applied that is like the color that is applied to in our filter, so it's not just one particular color but two or more colors, so it will change from say red to blue, blue to green, in that manner. Not just one color, but it changes. It will become more clear once we complete the filter. Okay, let's first open a blank project. Okay, let's maximize this. For this project we don't have to import any texture or anything like that. Okay, so right now this person, the background is white. The person, it has no filter applied. This is the feed that is directly coming from the camera. Okay, so we want, let's try applying this color gradient filter on the whole screen. Okay, so for that, if you want to fill the whole screen, will require something 2D. Okay, so let's use a rectangle. Okay, so we can see the rectangle coming up here. Select the rectangle, and on the inspector panel, let's fill the screen with this rectangle. So right now there's the jig-jag for this black and white jig-jag. This is the 3D render, so it has no no material applied, so we need to apply the color on a material. So we need to create a material. For that, let's click on the material here, the plus icon, click on that. Okay, let's first rename all the item that we have created. Okay, this will be used for background, so background rectangle. Okay, and then this material, this is applied to the background rectangle, so let's rename it to the background material. Okay, so this background material, let's go to the inspector panel. This is where we can change the property of the particular item that has been selected. Okay, so this one will change it to flat. So this flat material type, it does not the surface does not react to the changes in the light of the surrounding. Okay, so let's select this. Okay, so when we say uh, gradient, basically what it is that, so right now the color is selected white, right? So if you want to change it to red, change to red. But what if we want, so so this is how we apply any sort of color to our filter. Okay, so if we reduce the opacity, yeah, you can see that. Okay, that's the filter. We have created a filter where we generate a red hue. Okay, so this is how, so if you want to have a filter, this is how easy it is. Okay, select any color, bluish, or let's say this crayon, or whatever the name. Okay, slight change. This is how easy it is to apply color filters. Okay, select the color, apply the filter, and reduce the opacity. This is how easy it is. But what if we want to change the color gradually from left to right, from top to bottom, from center moving outward? Okay, this is done using a patch called gradient. Okay, let's change it back to white for now. Okay, and then let's reduce the opacity to maximum. Okay, so to apply gradient, we have a patch called gradient. So we open up the patch editor by clicking on view and then show patch editor. Okay, so in order to apply gradient, we have a patch called gradient. Okay, so right click on the patch editor and type gradient. Okay, click on add patch. Okay, so this patch is used to apply what type of gradient. Okay, we have three types at the moment. So we have horizontal, so the color will change from left to right. Okay, if we click on the drop down, you can see that we have a vertical, the color will change from top to bottom. We have circular where the color will change moving outward. Okay, it will become more clear once we select the colors. Okay, so we want two colors, right? If you want two colors, basically we want something to mix the color. So we have another patch called mix, used for mixing two different items. Okay, if you click on this excuse me, if you click on this mix patch, so the data it can handle is set to number by default. It will be used to mix two numbers, right? So right now we want to mix color. Okay, select color then. Okay, so yeah, we have three options. So the upper two will be used to set the colors. Okay, select say red, click OK. That's one. Dark blue, select OK. So this alpha, it will be used to trigger the mix. So the output will be connected. The output will be output of the gradient will be connected to alpha. So what are we trying to change? We are trying to change the color. So color is handled by the texture. So we have to select the background, the object that we want to change the color, and on inspector panel of this object, of this material object, select the texture, create a patch. We create patch by clicking on the arrow icon next to the texture. And if a property has an arrow next on the left, then we can create a patch by clicking on it. Okay, so let's see what happens if we connect the output of the mix to the texture. Now you can see that a color gradient. Earlier it used to be just one color. Now it changes from red to blue. Okay, at this time you can see that the change in color is from left to right. Let's see what happens if we click on this vertical. The color will change from top to bottom. Let's see what happens if we click on circular. The color will change moving outward. Okay, so I'm happy with horizontal. Okay, so right now it's so if you see the opacity here, it's set to 100%. It means that there is no light coming from the back. Okay, completely block opacity. Set to 100, 0. All the lights are passing through it, completely open. Consider it as a transparent glass. Okay, so we want to apply the filter a slide throughout the screen, but not fully, but slightly. Okay, this is how you handle the opacity. So I'm really happy with this image with this filter. Okay, you can see that the color changes slightly from red to blue, moving from left to right. Okay, you can play with this value. Okay, this is how easy it is to apply color gradient filter. Okay, so what if you want to apply multiple gradients? So right now we just have two colors, red and blue. What if you want to apply red and blue, blue to green, green to say yellow, whatever color you want? Okay, for that we have gradient step, a patch called gradient step. Okay, we have a patch called gradient step. Okay, right now why is it white? Because the color that is applied to this background material is white. Okay, so right now if you want to apply multiple gradient, we have something called gradient step. Step 1, moving to the left. Okay, so if you see this, that we have multiple inputs. Okay, so here we'll set the colors. Let's change to red for the first one, blue for the second one. Okay, and then the output of the gradient to the gradient type. Okay, and then say this now change to this. Okay, then let's two more. Why not? You can right click, control C, control B. No, I cannot do that. I think there must be a way to copy paste this, right? So I want it to be steps, so up and down. Okay, yeah, that's another one, gradient step. Okay, so I'm happy with this. Okay, so the color will change from red to blue, and then next it will be from, say, like, say yellow to crayon, and then green to purple. Okay, pink. Okay, so we have input. How do we connect the inputs? Gradient is connected to gradient, so gradient will be connected to gradient, gradient will be connected to gradient. Okay, and then so output, so output of the previous, we want to connect it to the previous step, so the output is connected to the previous step. Okay, the output is connected to the previous step. Okay, and then at the end the output, so we no longer have any other gradient, so we leave this gradient open, and the output will be connected to the diffuse texture. Okay, so now you can see that the gradient has been applied here, right? So you might find it slightly strange, like what's happening. Okay, earlier it used to be red, and then slightly changing it to something. This is because of the value that we are setting it here. So right now the red, it will start with red and end with blue at the end. Okay, so we cannot do this, we cannot do this 0.25, so we'll divide the color sections. Okay, we'll divide the color sections. Okay, so it should start from 0. Okay, 0 to 0.25. Okay, now at 0.25, let's start with 0.25, and at 0.5. Okay, and then 0.5 to, say, 1. So I mess up the maths, I'm not very good at maths. Okay, so we want 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, this 100 parts, so consider 100 parts divided by 6 colors. So yeah, we have to make some changes with the value. Okay, so if it just 2 colors, we could have made it change to a different value. So we are just dividing the whole section into 6. We are trying to divide the whole section into 3 different 6 different sections. Okay, so if it was just 4 color, we can divide it by 4 and make it 0.25, and then whole will be divided into 4 equal color parts. Okay, right now I mess up the maths. Okay, you calculate it by your own. Okay, try to divide the color. Okay, and let's try reducing the opacity, so that the image in the background is visible. Okay, so this is how. So the look and feel, I'm not that happy with multiple colors being applied, but if you want to apply multiple color hues, this is how you color gradient, this is how you do it. Okay, you can add as multiple gradient steps as much as you want. Okay, and then what if you want to apply the gradient not to the whole screen, but just to the background? So we can separate the portion on the front from the background using a filter, using a texture called segmentation texture. Okay, for that we have to click on the camera texture and click on texture extraction, and then segmentation person segmentation. So this camera texture, it represents the whole feed that is detected by the camera. So you have your phone's camera, front camera, so whatever input that is coming through that camera is represented by this camera texture. Okay, and this one, from the whole camera texture, only the background, look, it cut out. So consider this segmentation texture. At least this is how I try to remember. Okay, so this is the whole feed that is coming out, and then we are cutting out the person, so we are left with just the person, we are left with just the background. Okay, so for that, so we want to apply, we want to cut out just this person, right? So watch, so how do we do that? Okay, so we want a rectangle, okay, to fill the whole screen. Okay, this one will be used for creating the person. Okay, let's fill this rectangle, let's fill this whole screen with this rectangle. Okay, and then let's create a material. Again, it's a good practice to name all the items that you have. Material, let me do person, rectangle. Okay, so we have this person material. Okay, change the type to flat so that it does not the surface does not react to any light. Okay, so if you see here, we have something called texture. So this is the material, and on the material surface we are going to apply the camera texture, so it mimics whatever other. So we are applying the feed from the camera to the whole rectangle, right? And then, so if we want to segment the person from the background, from the camera texture, we have to use this alpha feature. Okay, click on this alpha, and then you'll see another texture. So here we will apply the segmentation marks texture. So if we click on this and click on apply the segmentation marks texture, what happens? So this person from the whole camera feed, so this is the whole camera feed, and this is the segmentation. So consider it as subtraction. Okay, camera feed, remove the remaining of the camera feed except the person. So this is how I remember whole. So subtraction, whole camera feed minus the background, minus the background, so we are left with the person. This is how I remember. Okay, whole camera feed minus the person, so we are left with the person. And then since the background has been removed, we can see the background. Okay, so this is how you create the gradient effect just to the background. And if you want this, this is how you can create just for the background. And there is an easy way. So once we have created the segmentation, you don't have to manipulate all the features once again. If you want to apply the gradient to the whole screen, just move the background on the top. Okay, if we move the background on the top, so even if we apply the segmentation, since the background is on top of the person, the filter is applied throughout the whole screen. Okay, so yeah, so you don't have to make changes anywhere else. Okay, by moving this layer rectangle up and down, okay, we can change it, whether it's applied to the whole screen or just to the background. Okay, so please remember, something on the bottom is on the top layer wise. Okay, since this background rectangle is at the bottom, it means that it's on top of the it's on top of the person's rectangle. This two rectangle, this background rectangle is on top of the person's rectangle. Okay, even if there is a that's why even if there is segmentation being applied, it doesn't matter because the background filter, the background rectangle is on the top where we have applied the gradient. Okay, yeah, yeah. So I guess this wraps up this tutorial on how to create color gradient filters in Spark Studio. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll try to improve myself. So I have started out this tutorial fairly recently, okay, and I made many mistakes along the way. And I'm trying to improve as we, you know, as I make more and more videos, and I will continue to make more and more videos, and I'm also learning along the way, and I'll try to improve. And please support by subscribing to my channel, and please hit the like button. And thank you everyone once again, and let's meet in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.